All right, this week we are starting a new project series. This time we are going to be answering the request of one of my Facebook followers and make a front porch. This is going to be a standalone display that you'll be able to put out and decorate however you want. So stay tuned and see how fun and easy this is to do. Alright, so I've done some prep work ahead of time, and that is I cut the foam core pieces we are going to use today. I have two pieces, and the measurements will be on the blog post, so be sure and go over there. I have two 13.5 by 13, two that are 1.5 by 13.5, and then two that are 9 by 13.5. And like I said, those measurements will be on the blog post. Now, the next thing you need, take one of these big pieces, make sure the 13.5 direction is going up and down. This is going to be our wall we face as we come up, as the little miniature person comes up the steps on the porch. And it's okay if the edge isn't perfect. We are going to clean that up when we get done. We need a door, and we need a window. And I'm using the ones I made over the last couple weeks, and I still have to clean the glue off of here. Now that it's all set up, I will, and I will talk to you about that in a future video. So I'm going to place mine like this. I know that my front porch is going to end right about here, so I want my window and my door next to each other, and I like them, I think, right about like that. Now if you are using a commercial door, great, that works perfectly. Now I know that my door is lined up because it's lined up there. I'm going to trace around it. This hole does not have to fit perfectly. In fact, we want it to be something we can slide our door and our window into easily. Now I want to make sure that this is straight. So I'm going to use a ruler. Since windows do not, I'm going to drop it down just a bit so I've got a nice straight line. And I'm just tracing the outside of this. Now remember, our window trim is going to cover if we cut this just a tiny bit big. We're not going to install our windows or a window or a door yet, but we are going to cut the holes before we put our back wall section together. So as we already know, as I talked about in the introduction, we're making a front porch, and this was a request on the Facebook group, and it's actually a project I've been thinking about for a long time anyway. It was one that I had been kind of contemplating. There used to be a kit, for those of you that have been in the Dollhouse game for as long as I have, you will probably remember there used to be a kit. I think it was put out by Houseworks. I'm not sure the brand. I'm just cutting out on these pencil lines. But it was a kit for a standalone front porch, and I don't remember the name of the kit. It was really, really popular, and a lot of people made these, and they decorated them for the holidays, and they had them like in a display. You know, they display them and they decorate like for Christmas. And I saw pictures once someplace of a lady had done, she had hers decorated every month to fit whatever the season was there. Perfect. So it was a really cool kit. As far as I know, it's no longer out there. It's no longer being made. And there were a few things about the original kit that I just didn't like very well. One of them being, yes, it had a door and it had windows. Straight ahead from the steps on the kit were actually windows, and then the door was on the sidewall. Didn't really like that. I like it when you see the door as you look up at the porch. The second thing that it had that I didn't really care for was that you had the door, and they put a regular working door in it, and the windows, but you saw whatever the porch was sitting in front of. So if you put it in front of your wall with wallpaper, you saw that wallpaper through the windows. we are going to, as you can see, our door and window are next to each other. And behind our windows, we are going to have a fake room. And you'll see it's really simple. I'm going to utilize a trick that a lot of us use in room boxes for a view outside. We're going to make a view inside that way. It'll be in a couple of weeks. There we go. So now, double check that our window fits. Yes, that is fine. So that's good. All right, now that everything is cut, our openings are all cut, everything's all ready, we are going to construct this. It's kind of our room to our house here. And all I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and do the front wall first. Hopefully my glue is, and this is going to be just like we've done in the past with every other time we've made walls with foam core. I'm just going to do one section, and then I'm going to turn the camera off and go get the rest of these done. Because you've seen me put this together before, no use to watch again. So, let me get the pin in here. Alright, same as always, line these up, glue it, pin it, and let it dry. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all glued together, and then I will turn the camera back on and show you what they look like put together. Alright, so I now have this all glued together, and I don't know if you can figure out what we're going to do. We're going to be putting a photo behind each of these areas later. But that's a job for later. Right now we are just going to get this set off to the side where it can dry. And now we have the two pieces that are cut 9 inches wide by 13.5 inches tall. These are our sidewall, and I want to do a double layer sidewall. It'll make it a little more sturdy, and it'll just make the whole, it'll make it just be more sturdy basically. I really need to remember to buy glue. And we are going to cover all of this later. You will see none of the foam core. Now, I'm just going to put that much glue on. I am going to put this together, and I'm going to kind of rub it around. Kind of just move it around a little bit. Then I am going to put this ruler on it, and I am going to set something heavy on it so that it is weighted down so that when it dries flat. It's really important. So when this glue is dry, I'll come back and we'll go to the next step. Alright, so my glue is all completely dry, I hope. I debated whether I was going to do this now or later, but I guess we can do it now. So we are going to glue this sidewall onto the side of our construction. I know it's going to be really difficult. We're going, I realize this is kind of a big piece for the camera to get all of it. I will have photos on the blog. I'm just going to put some glue. And then this glue will need to dry. We are going to go ahead and get glue here. This glue sounds rather disgusting right now. I had hoped to get a little further today, but I want the glue to dry, and I do need to get the video put together. So, I've got this here. Now this is going to take me some effort to get these pins in. So I'm going to turn the camera off to do this. Then I'll turn it back on, but I'm going to stick pins in just like we always do into our edges. So let me turn the camera off, get these pins in, and then I'll be back. All right, so I've got this all glued on. I ended up putting in 6 pins. I don't know if you can, the video camera's picking this up or not. This is what we look like at the end of week 1. And I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be a fun project. I also, you'll notice, move the camera a little bit so that hopefully you can see better. I just can't work with the camera in this position because it's way too close to the edge of the table. So hopefully by next week I'll figure out a different position for the camera. But that's week one's progress on our little front porch. Be sure and check the blog post. There'll be photos there and measurements and some more descriptions. And if you would like to help make this channel better, be sure and check out my Patreon page. The link is always in the description box, and you can have your name at the end of the video like these folks. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.